assets.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. I mean, the belt obviously isn't. The helm is kind of tweaked. The staff definitely isn't though. You know, it was neither in Diablo 1 nor was it in Diablo 2 finished product. So it's kind of interesting.
D2 beta.
Because that is the most boring looking staff icon ever.
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
You know what? You know what that staff icon probably is? That's probably programmer art.
Yeah. You can say D2 beta, but that was definitely D2 closed beta. That was definitely never part of the open beta as I remember it. Any of it.
Gloves
have a
look
question,
like skin
though.
frog feet.
You have a question about this gem mine picture. What class is that featured there?
Oh, that's the I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's definitely the demon hunter with shadow magic.
Good point with the shadow magic. It is a very shadowy figure.
Couldn't resist.
Let's move on to the next
Right
one.
there, set me up.
Next piece of concept art we got.
Male demon hunter.
Looks of
There's no high heels.
Chaldeum. That's the one in the desert, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, we got some dead animal up in the front. And then on the far left side, we have a valley of spiked rock with the sun shining through. Pretty dramatic scene, very cinematic. Perhaps something concept art for a video.
The vast deserts of Aranok and whatnot.
I think that's actually Blade's Edge Mountain.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty sure that's Azeroth or Outland over there. Pretty sure.
Nice.
Isn't that right outside Orgrimmar? That's where I was getting it from.
With a mage in your party, everything's right outside Orgrimmar.
Nice.
You know, I'm surprised we didn't hear about this shot being complained about because there are flowers growing out of the skull. You know, really, I am truly amazed.
That's true. I'm gonna go make a thread right now.
Start. Let's get a petition. Remove flowers from Diablo 3.
What a petition, right? They love their petitions.
Oh, man.
That's actually the finished product of that is actually used on the Diablo 3 website. If you go to World Chaldeum, that's the background that they've got the two other people standing in front of.
I mean, it's also pretty much in that cinematic video, isn't it?
Is that shot in there?
I'm pretty sure it is. Let me see. I'm gonna load up the video.
It sounds familiar.
Let me see here. Good old YouTube. I'm gonna have
Whoa,
to turn
this doesn't make
around.
any sense. I can see the sun on the left and the moon on the right. My mind is blown.
Nice. All right.
Holy,
Oh, dude, it totally is.
it's animated.
Yeah, it's got waterfalls coming down from the towers. Two little guards standing out front.
Oh, is Diablo 3 out yet? Mother.
Maybe if you ask enough times, it will be so.
And I just stumbled on something interesting.
What's that?
All right, all of that artwork that we were looking at, or not the artwork, the stuff from the 2005 version of Diablo 3, if you're on that Chaldeum page, I'm actually going to get the full link here for the high res and put it into chat, but they have reused that architecture in Chaldeum.
Well, looking at the cinematic trailer, it's definitely there. It's just not the exact same. Like, you don't see the flowers coming out of the skull, for instance.
Yeah, those aren't on the Chaldeum page on Diablo3.com either.
Yeah. So, pretty close though. So, just gonna throw that out there.
So yeah, this is definitely concept art for some video work.
But I think stumbling on this Chaldeum thing, this raises an interesting question. Maybe that stuff that we saw in the 2005 thing, you know, the whole thing about it being heaven, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Chaldeum.
I sincerely doubt that. And I just say that because even though the architecture is similar in a lot of instances, I don't see any really screwed up angels anywhere or anything reminiscent of that.
Well, I guess we could look at it one of two ways. Either this is them repurposing basically stuff that they, you know, work that they had already done and said, hey, well, we've got this great sort of aesthetic, let's use that over here and rename it. Or maybe they were going, you know, they had created, okay, we're going to start in a different city in a different part of the world, and they hadn't really named or created Chaldeum yet. And than when they moved on with the. That would be a. I want to know now. Now I want to know.
Is there a date
what
on the
happened
concept
in
art?
that transition period? 07.
I was gonna
So
say
it's
I see an
after.
07 at the bottom.
It's after those 2005
It certainly
screenshots.
would make it plausible that it's a repurposed of that. I do like the girls in the bikinis in the tub there. That's kind of awesome.
You would.
I mean, they kind of look topless, which I think makes it all the better. Who says there's not going to be any nudity in Diablo 3? Take that and that. Now, that's definitely waterfalling. I don't think I've seen any turquoise sand before, and I don't suspect I ever will.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea behind Caldeum is that it's basically the jewel in the desert, more or less. That it has these oases, it has this water, but it's otherwise surrounded by wasteland, and it has these kind of floating islands of endless waterfalls for no physically
I actually
relevant
didn't know
reason.
about that. Is that on the page somewhere for the Diablo 3 site? It's been a while since I've actually looked at those.
What are you talking about, Jordan?
Basically, what he just said about Caldeum. He was asking if
I'm reading through it real quick now, and I don't know anymore. It's actually not mentioned in here, so I'm trying to remember where I might have gotten that impression from. Certainly from the concept art, but it might have been. Didn't some of the BlizzCon interviews I know asked questions about Caldeum because people were like, "Hey, what's this Caldeum place all about? We haven't heard of it before." And they kind of tossed us some tidbits. So maybe I'm just pulling it maybe I'm pulling it from there, or maybe I'm pulling it from somewhere else.
It's possible. I mean, you sounded like you were quoting Avatar there for a minute. I was like, I don't know, man. The tidbits I do remember about Caldeum was basically that it was, a huge trade city. They are a very mercantile civilization, probably more so than everyone else, and there's a lot of political tension going on. And they talked about the real life inspiration goes into it and the cultural aspects and all that. But like I say, I don't really recall anything about floating isles necessarily. At this point, it could be either or.
I really like this Trent guy's work. I want to pin him down. I want to shake his hand. He makes me jealous.
He's got some great concept artwork.
Absolutely. It does remind me of a section of the Diablo lore in the Sin Wars. You had, Odyssean in the palace, basically. Everything's all elaborate and done up, and there's this, jungle tapestry over him that he kind of gets sucked into. You guys remember that?
Nope, I don't.
Oh, it was on one of our earlier shows, I'm pretty sure.
Here we go. Now that's something I'm talking about. Look at that.
What?
She's hot.
That is a +5 chainmail bikini.
Only? We are, of course, talking about the
Well, I guess so. In
barbarian
Diablo
woman.
2, that is a godly chainmail bikini of the whale.
Not to insult you, baby.
Nope, I just zoomed in on it. That is definitely fur.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you know what? She's not wearing a bikini.
Crack me up.
Nice.
Well, she's a barbarian. I
All
don't imagine they're much for shaving. Wait, what? That's just gross. Somebody shut that guy up.
I do still find the shoes are really odd. Just in how they
Yeah,
almost
she's got
look like
some
hooves if you first glance at.
hoof action going on.
Kind of female barbarian. Looks like the Amazon. What the? Are you guys looking at that picture that was posted by Variant?
What is that from?
Yes.
Her butt is so disproportioned. What is that thing?
It's very shiny, too. She's very shiny.
She oils every morning before slaying demons.
Is she supposed to be is that a human? Is that supposed to be human, or is this some like?
I have no idea. What is this
Well,
from?
I think that is not.
That's a fan drawing.
That is fan service. That is all that is. That is fan service.
Not to mention the head has those
Fan
weird
service?
tusks that are.
Look at those triceps, man. Some burly triceps.
Dude,
Muscle definition.
she would crush you if you got intimate with her.
It looked like she's bending that sword over her ass, too.
Her
She's
leg.
that strong.
Some people are into that.
Put those triceps to work.
And that
Some people
that-
want nothing more than to have their pelvis crushed like a milk carton beneath a car.
she is literally resting the sword, that giant two-handed sword, on her butt cheeks.
She's bending it. Do you not see the bend?
Yeah, she's just resting it on
What
her
am I-
booty.
I gotta.
She uses her
I
booty
have,
as a table.
I have to close this. My brain is melting. Look at that anal
It's
floss.
kind of
That cannot be
all-consuming.
comfortable. How can you kill something with anal floss that high up your butt?
Relax. It's just fan art.
Oh, I'm
You
just
take the
sorry.
discomfort, you channel that into your barbaric rage.
I'm going back to the barbarian. Why is her eye? She looks mad, to be honest.
Dude, she's ready to kill some demons.
I really
And now
like
she-
the sword in there too.
She looks less. I don't know. I don't know what the. How, I hesitate at using the words "good looking," but the female barbarian armor that they posted like a while back, the female barb in there looked a lot like a more feminine than than that. That looks like a man who got a gender reassignment.
Well, they said that later on that they had redone the art to make her look more feminine because again there was a little bit of a public outcry about how masculine she looked, and
It was one of those lose-lose scenarios.
yeah.
I just posted the link to the art I'm talking about, and you can see her face is a little like she's still like holy, like just like flex her arm or crush my skull in it kind of deal. But
Isn't that
Looks a
after
little
she
more
prettied her?
feminine.
They prettied her up.
this is
Yeah,
after
that's
they
after.
prettied her up. Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
so
Well,
as
quote.
far as the
quote,
lose-lose,
pretty up.
that's just a link to Amazon Women in the Mood. No, that's a different one. Wrong link. Somebody... Arrgh.
What are you talking about?
The-
Those are my links.
I had tabbed over to the Diablo 2 site, and then I came back and then clicked Ken's link, but it was actually Lugian 111's link, and it just went to a Futurama episode, and
Okay.
Is it sad that the second you said that, I knew exactly what you were talking about and which episode of Futurama it was?
no, that is not sad. That is the way it should be. All is right in the universe if that's the case.
Well, the universe makes sense again, though.
I am tempted to play the female barbarian, as I'm pretty sure it'll be the least played. You know what? Maybe that's just my perception. Maybe she won't be.
You know,
Maybe
I
the
really...
female witch doctor will be.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I honestly think that the female witch doctor will be the least played, hands down.
See, and that actually ties perfectly into the whole thing about lose-lose scenario, because originally they did have this very burly sort of looking female barbarian, and people complained that it looked too masculine, and so they prettied her up, and then people complained that it was just fan service and they're prettying her up and everybody's got to be good looking. But the female witch doctor is still going to be hideous and nobody's going to play her. So it's either you can have something that people want to play, or you could be morally sound and have something that's ugly and forgotten.
It just goes to show that people will complain no matter what you do.
Red.
So sometimes it's just good to move on.
What the hell is that? What? Who are these people? Where do you find?
Oh, good old Red Sonja.
Isn't that a comic
Yeah.
book
Yes.
that they were going to turn into a movie?
Well,
I think Robert Rodriguez.
it is a series of pictures that have been put together in a book and have some sort of sequence to them. So technically, it
Please
is
tell me she
comic.
has like some kind of
But-
magical powers, because I'm looking
Yeah,
at that arrow
it's-
there, because she has no armor on. So unless somebody's attacking her feet, I'm pretty sure she's gonna get owned.
Her magic power would be the power to somehow not die.
Oh wow, that's just completely ridiculous.
You know, they're actually making a new Conan version for 2011, right?
It's not gonna have
Society
Arnold
just
in it,
makes me
though,
so
is it?
happy.
Of course it's not going to have Arnold in it. Gosh.
Well, his
What's it?
steroids have caught up with him, so he's just all saggy like Hulk Hogan. So nobody wants to see that.
Some moobs going on.
Well, I mean, you could just CGI him in it like in that last
smoobs.
Terminator movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, now we're on to the male barb.
Yes, let's move things along here. Another male barb concept art, heavily armored up top, especially the shoulders and his head. Got some gnarly spikes going on up there.